soft. I've gotten soft because the thought of not being fair actually bothers me. You know, sometimes you got an attitude, you don't feel like being fair. I don't have those feelings anymore. I actually feel compelled to be fair. When I see somebody hurt by what I say, I actually feel guilty. I actually sit at home and go like, I just hear my mama, God rest her wonderful soul, actually hear my mama in my ear. Now, did you have to do that, Stephen? Did you have to say it that way? Did that raise you that way, you know? Because my mother was West Indian. You know, with West Indian accents, you know, yeah, everybody. You know? Eddie Murphy, I mean, he got that from somebody. Remember Eddie Murphy years ago in Delirious? What a beautiful woman like you doing crying on the Isle of Love. You know, West Indian accent, I mean, I got that. But I actually feel guilty. I really do. If I'm not fair. That's why I go out of my way to be fair. Why does this have something to do with Mike D'Antoni? Because, ladies and gentlemen, after losing in Game 6 of the Western Conference semifinals to the Houston Rockets, he let a couple of weeks pass, and then suddenly we heard from him about how he's got the energy to coach the next 3 years, and he wants to be the head coach for the Houston Rockets, and he wants an extension. Similar to him wanting an extension in Houston, similar to him wanting an extension in L.A., similar to him wanting an extension in New York. Same old Mike D'Antoni. Ladies and gentlemen, Tillman Fertitta, the owner for the Houston Rockets, said, hell no. Damn that. I'll give you a contract. You got a year to go. We're throwing $5 million and an extra $1 million for every round that you win in the playoffs. Incentive base. Why? The average coach out there is making about $5 million or more per year. You combine that with the incentives, that will elevate you to $9 million, potentially, if you were to win $10 million, if you were to win a championship, and that's how they feel. Now, granted, he could have started at $6 or $7 million and then threw in those incentives. Maybe. But in terms of having an incentive-based contract, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a problem with Tillman Fertitta. I need to state for the record, I support that man 1,000%. He's an owner. He inherited Chris Paul's, situation. Les Alexander, his predecessor as owner for the Houston Rockets, made that promise to Chris Paul. Tillman Fertitta honored it. Okay, here's what we gonna do. You were promised this. We gonna make sure we compete. We had you gonna be 37 years of age, making $47 million in the last year of your deal. I'ma honor that, even though you've never won a championship, never played in an NBA Finals. Mike D'Antoni's my coach. All right, we gonna roll with that. But now that he's got his feet wet, and he's the owner of this franchise that he paid $2.2 billion for. If he's of the mindset that, I need you to show me what you got, Mike D'Antoni. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have a problem with that. H-Town, you shouldn't have a problem with it. Let me tell you something about Mike D'Antoni. Mike D'Antoni's a damn good coach. Mike D'Antoni has served to assist in revolutionizing the game of basketball. One could argue there's no appreciation for Steph Curry if it wasn't for what Mike D'Antoni did in Phoenix. Because we all know that the Knicks were going to draft Steph Curry in 2009 with the 8th overall pick, but the Golden State Warriors had the 7th pick, and they picked him, and the Knicks ended up with Jordan Hill, who ain't around no damn more. So we all understand what we missed out on in New York by not having Steph Curry. And we all know what he was doing coming out of Davidson and how fantastic he was. And we all knew that he was going to be one of the great shooters this game has ever seen, although none of us knew he was going to be this damn great. We all knew it. But guess what? One could argue that if it wasn't for what Mike D'Antoni did in Phoenix with Steve Nash and Joe Johnson and Sean Marion and Mari Stoudemire and the crew, Will we ever truly been in a position to truly and fully appreciate what Steph Curry brought to the table? Mike D'Antoni helped revolutionize the game of basketball in the new millennium. And he deserves credit for that. Mike D'Antoni deserves to be a head coach in the NBA. Mike D'Antoni deserves his money. Mike D'Antoni deserves all of those things, except from Houston. I've got no problem with Tillman Fertitta taking this position. The mandate is clear. We are going after the Golden State Warriors. Daryl Morey has stated it. Fertitta stated it. Everybody in H-Town knows it. You had 2 bites at the apple. You used Chris Paul's injury as an excuse for an entire year. The next year comes back. Chris Paul is not the one that goes down. Kevin Durant goes down. So not only are you tied 2-2 against the Golden State Warriors, but Kevin Durant goes down midway through Game 5, third quarter, Game 5. And Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and those boys closed you. And then in the Game 6 closeout game, after holding Steph Curry scoreless, he dropped 33 points on you in the second half. You show no adjustments. You continue to depend exorbitantly upon James Harden. You forgot about Eric Gordon. And you want a contract extension? A contract extension? Nah. I understand in the world that we're living in, known as the NBA, too many player contracts are guaranteed. I understand that could be incredibly unfair, but the reality is that Mike D'Antoni knew exactly what he was signing up for.